The woman opened the curtains and was stunned by the sight before her.
Что это?
The shockwave from the meteor impact spread all the way to the 38th floor. Layla, shivering with fear, crawled towards the exit. The constant impacts outside continued with deafening roars. A second shockwave hit, and Layla fled the room and ran to the entrance. With trembling hands, she quickly put on her socks and shoes. The building shook violently, as if it could collapse at any moment, and each tremor made Layla's heart race. After grabbing the necessary items, Layla headed to the hallway. Screams from the fleeing crowd came and went, and the emergency lights flickered faintly, intensifying the sense of urgency. Seeing the crowd cramming into the elevator, Layla quickly tried to stop them, shouting, "Don't take the elevator!" In the end, the 5 people who didn't listen were all killed. Layla escaped to an outdoor balcony, where the view opened up. Meteor fragments rained down from the sky, smashing into the ground. Before the shockwave hit, she rushed into the escape stairwell without hesitation. More people scrambled down the stairs, and the scene instantly devolved into chaos. The air was thick with dust and smoke, and visibility was extremely low, making it hard to breathe. The narrow stairwell became more and more crowded, and the small Layla was squeezed against a wall. Suddenly, a meteor struck, and fragments of the torn wall smashed down on her head. Sand got into Layla's eyes, and her breathing became more and more rapid. She couldn't see the steps ahead, so she could only follow the sounds of the panicked footsteps of the crowd. Layla, who had tumbled down the stairs, was squeezed into a corner by the crowd. The sound of the environment became muffled, hinting that Layla's mind had gone blank. The suffocating tension made her stop. Looking at the crowded people, she didn't hesitate to turn back. Opening the second-floor balcony, she took a deep breath of fresh air. The sounds of the environment returned to normal, and as Layla gradually regained her clarity, she chose to climb over the railing and jump directly from the second floor. A meteor streaked overhead, and the massive shockwave made the building behind her sway. Layla didn't know which way to run. Passerby blocked her path, begging Layla to help her save the child trapped in the car. Layla's boyfriend saw this and intervened, signaling for the child in the car to turn their head away, and then he smashed the passenger side window. After opening the car door, Layla and her boyfriend quickly left. Fragments continued to fall from nearby high-rise buildings, and the screams of the crowd were constant. Her boyfriend pulled her to quickly find cover. The car window glass reflected the meteors still, falling from the sky. The two reached the main road and continued to flee with the crowd. Another meteor struck right in front of them. And a huge shockwave rushed towards them. The two quickly hid behind a wall, avoiding the surging blast of air. After entering a building, the two finally got a brief moment to catch their breath. But as they talked, cracks in the wall spread all the way to the roof, and fragments rained down. Suddenly, a car accidentally hit Layla. The elderly couple in the car felt guilty, and after a brief discussion, they chose to get out and check on Layla's injuries. At this time, she had fallen into a coma. The sounds of roars, screams, and the sirens of ambulances revolved around her. An orange cat gently lay on Layla, giving her a moment of warmth and comfort with its soft body. The woman kept nagging her husband not to drive so fast, and the two started to argue. His emotional agitation made him momentarily lose focus on the runaway bus in front of them. The violent jolt woke Layla. She looked around, taking in her surroundings. The meteors outside were still impacting. Following Layla's gaze, The camera panned behind her, and bridges and buildings began to collapse. The vehicles on the road were in complete disarray.
Что делается-то, Рома?
Все, успокойся, Танечка, успокойся, все будет нормально.
Очень страшно, Рома!
Все, успокойся, Таня, все. Спокойно! Спокойно! Без паники! Спокойно!
And since both the front and back of the car were hit, the only choice was to abandon it and flee.
Выходите!
The roaring and screaming outside made Layla even more anxious. The woman was still looking for her pet orange cat. Layla wanted to tell them to leave quickly, but the collapsing building in front of her made her unable to care. Layla decisively turned and ran towards a store. However, a huge shockwave swept through, and Layla couldn't escape it.